Oh, very good afternoon, good morning, Osho, Carolyn. I'm glad you got my message. Good to see you both. Um, Daylight saving time just means you want to change our hours. Hey, Konstantinos, glad you got the message. Good to see you. Well done, folks. Brian, hey, everyone. This is it. Here we go. Well done, everyone, for making the new time. That's good. Should be back to normal next week. So we'll just get in before the open for this session now. Okay, just sentiment is so positive. You've got United Parcel Services beating top and bottom lines. You've got United Health Group raising its outlook for this year in terms of earnings. Royal Caribbean Cruises fell, but we've just had Microsoft supporting an open AI board moving forward with formation of a public benefit corporation and recapitalization. That sent Microsoft up 4% in pre-market. We've got a lot of big names reporting their earnings. If you just take a look at this week, we've got the Magnificent Seven coming in. We've got Meta, Microsoft, Google, we've got Amazon, Apple. Between these five, that is 25% of the US stock market in these five companies. So the recent basically move we've been seeing higher needs to be supported by good earnings. I've told you my concern here, and it's just the volume. Right? The volume's falling even as price is breaking out. We've got the Fed meeting tomorrow, right? And the Fed meeting tomorrow is priced in an interest rate cut. You can see here they're expected to cut interest rates, so that won't be a surprise. If there's any concern about inflation, if Powell sort of lays on thick about inflation worries, then we could see the stock markets fall. Otherwise, what it's going to come down to is the forward guidance and the earnings from these big companies.
We are seeing in the FX space, just seeing a continuation of this dollar move is tracking US yields higher as we do see risk on trade just creeping up in the US equity future space. In terms of euro dollar now, that's now down to around 116.28. In cable now down to 132.64.
Right, so the hourly chart, we can see that price is breaking out. We've got all those sellers trapped here at the 6915. That's an area to buy in from, right? Sellers, jumping out at the 6915. So that's a potential area where I'll be happy to go long from, right, at the open, the 6915. Looking at the 15-minute chart, you can see that we're trying to go imbalance from yesterday's value area high. That coincides with that 6915 area. And also, with these buyers trapping these sellers here, I wouldn't be averse to starting to come in at 6918 either, right? And just stops other side of the VWAP at the 6911. So buying in at the 6918, absolutely fine. You look at the delta has turned positive now. There's optimism about US and China having a roadmap for a deal, and that's all been boosting sentiment. So just to keep that in mind, 5-minute, you've got sellers trying to trap some of these buyers. Got a little bit of a surge on that Microsoft news. We had ADP jobs estimate coming in, and it was jobs being added, 14,500. That was the estimate. So there's not a major risk of a slowdown. Earnings are good. There's optimism about a trade deal. US equity futures are making fresh new highs. I'm probably not going to worry about this breakout on low volume that I've been talking about. That's something to look for the Fed meeting. Okay, so we should, I'm happy to trade this sentiment as it goes for today, and then it's going to be the earnings and the Fed meeting that's going to be looking at the big picture. So 5-minute, got some sellers who've come in and trapped those buyers. Looking at the price chart, you can see where do you go when there's no obvious target. You've got the R1 and you've got the average true range. So if we look at the average true range for the day, right, and we just whack on the daily chart, we can see, okay, you've got an average range of about 78 points, right? So if that's your average range, then you got over that R1, you got well up to that R2. It's got plenty of potential for moves. The sentiment is risk on, right? US equity futures, fresh highs, volatility low. We've got bond market pretty stable, no major moves there. You've got gold, silver, all moving lower on the positive risk sentiment. Hey, Naja, on the positive risk sentiment. Copper still being bid on the prospect of US-China trade deal. Fine. Looking at the dollar, You can see a little bit of a bid's come in, and that's been impacting the majors. Right? You can see majors are falling on that positive. Dollar yen suffering a little bit from that. But apart from that, yeah, we're just looking to go in line with this move higher. That just makes sense from the open. Globex open is positive here on the 15th. You got some sellers trapping some buyers here. That second standard deviation might provide some resistance. And then otherwise we're just waiting at the open. I'm happy to buy in from 6918. All right, so I'm happy to have buying at 6918 and then buy in again from 6915, and my stops underneath 6905. That's what I'm happy to do at the open. Okay. Yeah, that was Najam. It was the Microsoft OpenAI move. And also, you know, it's just so influential now, these earnings. You've got Meta, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Apple, and that's about 25% of the entire US index is made up of these companies, right? So the market's next focus is going to be these earnings and the Fed meeting. Good news from Microsoft, and it's coming after the close tomorrow. Yeah, their earnings. People buying in, aren't they? Getting excited. So we'll have to see. But for now, buy the dip. And that's my outlook. I'll come back just before the open, and see you in a minute, folks. I'll keep it on the 15, and I'm happy to buy in just from the 6918 even before the open. So just going to put an order in at the 6918. And then another one at the 6915. Five-minute candle coming up, 26 seconds. Point of control has moved here. You know, if I get above here, above those sellers now, I will buy into that. But I need to go above it now within the next 15 seconds because that will be a 5-minute defense. So those buyers, no, it's still trapped. So now I'm happy to buy in underneath that level or getting above that level. I'll go with that. Delta is positive. We have got some buyers trapped there, so just going to wait. That's it. Getting quite close to where I'll buy in. Buy in. Nearly in one position. I should be in one position shortly. I'm in one position. So I'm just looking to scale into this dip. So you got the buyers, right? And then what I want to do is buy in a second position. If I get down to the 691415 region, just the 15, that's happy to buy in there. There's those sellers there. So I'm going to buy in a second position now. Okay, so I've got two positions in on that dip. So I'm looking for that to turn around now. Buyers trapping sellers, and I'm looking for a turnaround now. And you can see here, buyers trying to come in here. They're trying to turn that around. And then I'm only going to add if I get these sellers trapped up here. So let's see what we get, if we get anything. It's the right kind of place. And we just got to wait and see how it goes. Got some evidence of buyers trying to come in here. Nice area. This is where the buyers are. This is the retest area. Bit more buyers trying to build in here, so you've got a little bit of positive delta coming in. So that's what I wanted to see. Let's see if these sellers bail out here. So we've hit the value area, decent take profit zone.
From Hegseth, the War Secretary, is concerning narcotics in the Caribbean Sea. Says the vessel was known by their intelligence to be involved in illicit narcotics smuggling.
Nice area to buy into. That's lovely. I'd like to see that finish negative if I could. That would be love. That would be perfect. 5-minute close. Those buyers are still in control. A 15-minute close. No, 15, not yet. But this is the support area, right? Delta positive. This is where we want to see them come in. See more buyers trying to buy in. This is the value area high. Testing now this VWAP area and testing this crucial area here where those sellers got trapped. So it's a nice buy area we're in. Okay, this is the perfect buy area. You've got to trust what you see. And so this would be literally perfect area for buyers to come in. 216 contracts have gone long. 141 have gone long in the last few trades. Now a crucial test, this area. Sellers trying to make it. Sellers trapping some buyers there.
Update here, commentary from Guggenheim CIO says we see signs of over leverage and reduced covenants in larger corporate private credit market.
Nice one there, Jam. I guessed. Okay, we just had, right, 544 contracts come in long. So this is attempt at a turnaround here. There's the 5-minute holding There's the 15-minute trying to hold. Now, this is the crucial close. Want those sellers to actually hold above that level. If we don't, they're going to get out. So, here, right, this is interesting. Can buyers trap those sellers? If they can, that's definitely price moving in your favor. But these buyers trap these sellers. That's what I want to see.
More commentary from Guggenheim Minerals and Natural Resources.
Another attempt at a break of this low. Delta has turned negative. Let's see if we can suck in those sellers. That would be great. Let's get them all trapped the wrong way. That's tricky. You got some of those breakout buyers trapped, but not on very much volume. So I'm just going to happy to hold that for a wee bit. But you have got those buyers trapped, but it's not a whole lot of volume. So I am happy to hold. You're now into this area here, which is the key area for buying here. So just going to wait. I'm happy to hold based on this overall structure. The buyers, trap sellers, and looking for buyers to come in here. We have seen a rejection of these highs, but I am anticipating a reversal still. And this is kind of the perfect buy area, really. So I'm in the perfect buy zone. Well done, Najam. Right, so I'm gonna give it to the other side of this structure here, which is just the other side of the point of control. So I'm gonna give it till just 690475.
Update on geopolitics via Al Haddad Thales.
Okay, so the point of control's holding.
Just one for the calendar's US President Trump is to meet the Uzbekistan president on November the 6th as part of a Central Asian nations meeting. So
I'm holding my stop in place underneath this structure, underneath this point of control, and just here, right, around the 6903, 6904 region. So that's what I'm holding. I'm looking for this to be supported.
In Canada, they are to consider the potential offtake agreements with price floors for critical minerals with the G7 partners. So Canada to consider potential offtake agreements with price floors for critical minerals with G7 partners.
I've seen some buyers come in here quite quickly flushed away. So this is the critical point of this standard deviation. Buyers will need to come in, trap some of those sellers and indicate the beginning of a potential reversal. And they need to win this battle.
And coming up at the top of the hour in around 9 minutes, we are looking out for the US consumer confidence from the US Conference Board. Does concern the month of October, and in terms of expectations, we are looking for a decrease in confidence to 93.2 from 94.2. And alongside the top of the hour, we're also getting the Richmond Fed Composite Index for October, as well as the services and manufacturing shipments components.
Point of control holding for now, but it's under pressure here. This is just keep coming back into my mind is that, breakout, you can't trust the breakout on low volume. So we'll see. Some buyers trying to come in here again, but not going anywhere yet. Right, point of control has now moved down, and that is on the weekly point of control. So we have point of controls on the weekly and the daily now in the same place. Right, sellers trying to come in now. Heavy selling, trying to take this lower. The last flush, or is that an intention to go lower? Let's see if they get trapped. 5 minute 10, 8, 7, 6, 5. Tricky. Point of control still holding. Delta coming in negatively. That looks like a headline. Can't see the headline though, but that was a big spike. Right, this is a big area here. How's it going to work around this? Right, so a lot of delta came in, but had a rejection of that VWAP. 2 minute 37, just still holding.
We are now just under a minute to the top of the hour. Again, we are looking out for the US consumer confidence for October. Expectations are for a decline to 93.2 from 94.2. And we're also looking out for the Richmond Fed.
We've had some buyers come in. They're trying to defend this level here. Just need to see where we can go with it, if anywhere.
10 seconds. Richmond Fed manufacturing, that's -4. So better than expected, -12.
No sellers trapped.
Consumer confidence, that's 94.6. That's above the expected 93.2.
15 minute has trapped sellers there. We're just staying under that VWAP. This looks like sellers are just starting to get control back here.
So expectation index, that was 71.5 down from 73.4. For the present situation, that's 129.3. That's an increase above the 125.4 prior. Going back to the Richmond Fed, the volume of new orders, that was -6, so up from the prior -15. Backlog of orders also was -16, so up from the prior -21.
So you got buyers, you got buyers trapped here and here, I see.
Just an update on geopolitics. The Hamas armed wing says it will hand over body of deceased Israeli hostage at 8 p.m. local time.
Delta is positive. We've got this boost of buyers who came in. They need to be joined, really. I mean, I think sellers have got the upper hand here, but the delta is still positive. So that's just, I'm still holding on here, but I wanted to see at least some sellers get trapped, and I haven't seen that yet. It's got exactly that hallmarks, you know what I mean? Exactly those hallmarks. Another test of that VWAP, but it's just a test. The question is, can I get those sellers trapped? If I can, I'm going to add a third position in. Get above those sellers, I'm going to add a third position in. So I'm adding a third in there. Just the fact that I've finally got some sellers trapped down here. And I can potentially add a fourth in if I get those sellers trapped there. And look, maybe a run at it may only be as far as the standard deviation. We'll see. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. The VWAP is holding price for now, so it's tricky. And it had immediately sellers coming in there. So point to control. This is the critical zone. Trying to hold. Buyers finally trapped some sellers down here, but we're still underneath that VWAP, you see. That's the tricky bit. But the VWAP tests coming up. Buyers not able to take it above the VWAP. Just sandwiched point of control VWAP. Sellers building in here. They need to lose this battle, the sellers, really. Hey, Brian. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome. How's everyone doing? What's everyone up to? I'm in this sort of long position that's grinding around. Just to recap, I bought in from, where is it? The 6918, 6920. I stopped the other side of this structure on the hourly chart here with those sellers here getting trapped, right? So it stops just the other side of that structure. Point of control holding and looking still to hold this. The only ray of light that I've got is that these buyers have trapped those sellers, but we're still underneath the VWAP and still underneath the VWAP. I want to go above the VWAP to give me half a chance of this. Otherwise, you can see the VWAP is containing price and sellers are building up against it. Pushing above that area, then you've probably got to run to the standard deviation. So we shall see. It's another battle on that VWAP. Sellers trying to come in off it. All the interest is kind of fading here. It's not. There we go. Okay. Bit of selling coming in, bit of selling pressure. I can just hear the ticking of my clock waiting. Just next to my left ear, which is quite fitting. 1 minute 40. If I see sellers get trapped there, I can add my fourth and final position. Because I've seen buyers trap sellers here. If I see buyers trap sellers there, then that will give me the final permission from my last position. Price moving into the VWAP, but nothing. Yeah, we haven't seen any clear break. Got a minute left on this. Let's just see what's going on here. Buyers trying to come in, but the VWAP still holding price. That's the crucial thing here. 30 seconds. Not wanting to go higher. On balance volume pushing up. Delta flattish. Now we're back to that point of control. Sellers coming in, trying to take it lower now. Those sellers trying to build. They couldn't do too much. Still waiting, folks. See that we're just underneath that value area high, contained under the VWAP, and the point of control just sits underneath on the Globex Open, the weekly, and the daily. So we're just sort of sandwiched in this area, really. Got sellers trying to come back in again. See you, Carolyn. It's been a real slow grind, so it's probably one of the most boring days. Take care, Carolyn. Got big tech names and then Fed meeting tomorrow, so you can understand why markets are a bit cagey. Here we go. That looks like sellers trying to take it lower, doesn't it? They've got 1 minute 41 seconds. This could be the sellers' little victory here. Let's see. Buyers saying no for now. Well, those sellers are still there. It's funny. Buyers can't take it higher. Sellers can't take it lower. 5 minute close coming up. I will add my final position in if I can get above those sellers. 28 seconds. Sellers trying to come in now. On balance volume moving lower. Bit of delta building up over the last few candles. This is either an attempt at a rush or they get faked out and it goes higher. This is a decision point. This is where we've got some moves coming here. Either we go higher and then they get popped away. I think that looked like the last effort. You're trying to hold up at that point of control right into the VWAP. Here's an attempt at a breakout here. Have they got it? Yes, they got it. Right, so there we go. That's the breakout attempt. So now let's just manage this. How far do we go? How far can we go here? 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Right, sellers trying to trap those buyers with a bit of strength to them. The battle. This is the battle line. So if an attempt at a breakout that's been brought straight back into that area. Question is, will it be defended? Buyers coming straight back in, trying to trap those sellers here. Ooh, but can they? We'll see. 102 contracts. Yes, they can, right? They have intention. Buyers still have intention here. 41 seconds. Just a little bit of buyer resolve weakening there. 18 seconds. If buyers get it, I'll add in my fourth and final position. Dun, dun, dun. See you, Ryan. I'm still trying to grind this one out. Take care, buddy. Still in it. So we're still trying to move this higher. See on the... Okay. So buyers coming in again. Delta is positive, holding above the VWAP. 15-minute buyers trying to trap these sellers. Okay, yeah, we're to standard deviation. See if we get the 5-minute sellers trapped. It's a tricky area though. You can see sellers trying to come in again to trap these buyers. Very important area. Sellers trying to win the battle again. Those sellers getting trapped again. It's literally a battle between buyers and sellers. Literally. 1 minute 23. If I get these sellers trapped, then that's just another opportunity to go long.
It's around a minute now on the Texas Service 6 out of October, previously negative 5.6. Also get the Dallas Fed figure, previously negative 2.4.
Okay, let's see what we get if we get anything.
The geopolitical front seems to report out of Israel that Hamas operatives are said to have opened fire at Israeli forces in Gaza. Just waiting for details.
So sellers trapped here on the 15th. And do we get sellers trapped here on the 5? Yes, we do. So I can enter another position. We have more sellers trapped. So that just gives me a little bit of confidence. I've entered another position. I'll see if we can run up at least to that standard deviation. Got the initial balance has now formed. So let's see.
The Texas Service figure, that's negative 9.4 down from negative 9.6. Dallas Fed negative 6.4 from negative 2.4.
Slowly grinding up. A sharp move lower. There's buyers trapping sellers against this area. Do you get sellers trapped? Let's have a look. If those sellers get trapped, then that would be a long, but I'm already as long as I want to go. This is the sellers' attempt to take it lower now. If buyers trap these sellers here, that would be a long entry. You see the buyers trying to come in here. That's what they're trying to do, is just, you know, get rid of all those last sellers there. 60 buyers. Yeah, okay, 15-minute, 5-minute, right. That's good. That's just giving the buyers a little row of hope there. Back above the point of control, back above the VWAP. Can we trap all these sellers? That'd be nice. There we go, they're trapped as well. Okay, now we're heading into this sort of fair value gap area. Now, what I want to watch here carefully is how we react around the standard deviation. You see, that's going to be quite important here. We've got sellers here, here, sellers there, they got trapped, that's fine. Now, where can we go from here? That's the question. And we've got a potential break of this area. Fair value gap. 5-minute would be trapping those sellers. Unbalanced volume up, cumulative delta up. Right, okay, now we're trying to go higher again. Right, sellers coming in quickly off that level. Yeah, it does make sense to me. Now, Jam, I think Bank of Canada's got problems and they need to keep cutting interest rates, I think. Yeah, so that does make sense to me. Oh, I think I'm on the wrong side of it now. I think I should have got out of that standard deviation, but let's see. And the risk positive profile should keep the Aussie supported. But I don't see a problem with Aussie CAD longs. Struggling a little bit with the stress of this going the wrong way. Let's have a look. So 2 minutes 57 for this. Got a 5 minute. I think this will be the decider. If those buyers get trapped, that'll be my exit cue. Delta's trying to come in here. They're definitely trying to take that lower. See all those sellers come in. Oh, this is it. This is the... Right, I'll be exiting here quite quickly, I think. Get underneath those buyers. I'll be exiting. Just holding. Do these buyers get trapped? That's the battle. I think that's going to be them. So if those buyers get trapped, I am exiting longs. The last place to defend. 14 seconds. Now this is a last defense, eh? Do they manage it? They just about defended it. 15 held. 5 minute. I've got that as a hold. Get underneath there, then I'll be exiting. Right. I'm out of longs. I'm happy to go short on that. You just can see it's changed. Right, the outlook's changed. You got sellers coming in on volume from this value area high. You have the drop, the move, and now I'm looking to this to potentially continue lower.
From GFZ, a earthquake of 6.72 magnitude occurs in the Banda Sea, that is in Indonesia.
I will go back in if these sellers get trapped, because one way or the other from here. I've gone back long again. I know I've changed my mind. They weren't trapped. They couldn't go lower, so that's a signal in and of itself for me. Delta back positive. That's all those sellers underwater. 5-minute buyers on volume trapping the sellers. So there's a bit of volume there. So there's joining these buyers. Right, that looks like it wants to keep going higher. Let's just see if they get trapped. Yeah. So it's the buy biases back. Should get some buyers off there. Ideally, just have those buyers come in and sweep out those sellers. That would be the ideal. So they're just coming in. Can they sweep out those sellers? That's close enough. Yeah, there's that blocks of sellers. See if they get trapped. Yeah, so there's trapped now. Should be space to go higher.
On the geopolitical front, further reports now of exchanges of fire between Hamas and Israeli forces.
Incredibly slow grind today, folks. It's just so painful. Point control VWAP test coming up again. Getting into the point control. I'm just exiting that. I don't like that volume shift to the downside. I want to see if those buyers get trapped there by these sellers. If they do, then I think the short bias is the one. There's a 5-minute close, and it is underneath those buyers there.
The geopolitical front, Ukraine President Zelensky says that himself and European officials will be meeting at the end of this week in order to work on details for the ceasefire plan.
Point control holding. Just can see that those sellers have trapped those buyers there, so I could see this reversing from here. So I'm just getting a bit suspicious of. Watch this. You can see. Well done, Nadja. Just seeing it starting to weaken here, but see what the VIX is doing. It's pretty flat.
Update from the FCC, a vote to tighten restrictions on Chinese tech companies selling devices in the US.
I think you're right, Nadja. This is my last little go on this, and I'm going to call it a day. It's just too choppy. There's nothing here. The only thing I'm looking at is this short from this region. That's 56 seconds. See if we can get some. If we can get those buyers trapped as well, that would be good. Let's get another bunch trapped. These or these. Volume's low though. There's hardly any volume on it. So no significance really. 27 seconds. Trying to go lower still. Let's see what happens to those. See if those buyers get trapped. That could be the catalyst there for a little shuffle lower. Yeah. Had they been able to trap anyone? That's the question. Oh, funny old game, isn't it? Look at that. Sellers now trying to come in. Can they get underneath that level? That would be nice, wouldn't it, for the sellers? The buyers couldn't trap those sellers there. That was important. Sellers are still leading this conversation. Yeah. And if they can get underneath those buyers, that is important. Right. Hooray for the sellers. I am in short on this, but we shall see. We need to get those sellers trapped, and that will be important. But we've seen a lot of people being chopped around here, so 2 minutes 10, 2 minutes. Most amount of buyers since the open getting stuck, and then you got buyers here potentially could get stuck on the 15. 1 minute 36 seconds, folks. This does not look unreasonable. This is short, say 1 minute 3 seconds. But look at this, you've got buyers trying to come back in again. 37 seconds, 26 seconds, 15 has to be underneath the 1175, 5 has to be underneath the 1275, right? The buyers have actually just held, but just technically from price action, that's looking like a decent rejection. Have we got any buyers trapped here? No, it's still pretty neutral. That could hold still.
Just an update here from the UK government that do announce $5 billion in export finance for projects in Saudi Arabia.
It's be interesting here. Do sellers trap those buyers? There's a lot of delta. They haven't been able to trap anyone yet. They're trying to trap some of these buyers here. Maybe trying to trap those buyers against that level.
Just an update from Bloomberg. So US and South Korea to sign a deal boosting AI and quantum cooperation.
Can these buyers get trapped? That's the question. And they can't. Last attempt for sellers here is to take these buyers out. That's the last attempt they can have. All right, here's the attempt for sellers. All right, trying to trap those buyers, see if some volume comes in here. Those buyers here. It's a little bit to go here. There's a bit of work to do. But do those buyers end up getting trapped? If they do, all right, some volume coming in. On balance volume pushing lower. Delta pushing lower. You got these buyers getting trapped here. Right. So that's not unreasonable to see this track down now. 15 buyers potentially getting trapped here. Got a few minutes left, but the 5-minute buyers are getting trapped here. Here's a big bunch. 2 minutes 43. We'll see. See if it can go lower. Delta is negative on the session. Moving right direction. 1 minute left. I want to see these sellers get trapped. Yeah, okay, so they are trapped here. Yeah, so happy to have another position there. Delta is negative. Those sellers have come in and they've trapped those buyers. So, okay, let's see how the delta goes. 3 minutes, and we see if those sellers get trapped, and then another little run lower. If you can get underneath that level, that would be a lovely little move. And so you got these sellers here trapping these buyers. A lot of buyers come in here. I want to see how we do on the 15. Here we go. 17 seconds. See if we get a 15-minute close. That's the key thing. 7 seconds to yes. So we got 15-minute trapped here. Does open the way for further downside. I know it's just been painful, difficult. And the movement's been quite strange as well. That very slow grinder yesterday, remember that, John? Eventually it broke out and it held that initial balance, but it was so slow. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And here we go, let's see what we get. Oh, maybe a little. So if you get those sellers trapped, that'd be great on the 5-minute. Let's see. Holding here, trying to hold the standard deviation. You've got this 5-minute, you've got those buyers there. See if they get trapped. That'll be good. Yeah, 1 minute 32 seconds. I want to see if they can just get, if they can collapse down through here. Maybe see if I can get a run to the second. Right, here they go. Giving a run for it. Right, here we go. That's those buyers getting trapped. See if they do get trapped. They're trapped, so get another run here. I am out for the day and made a profit. What a way to make a living, eh?
In November.
That's it. So in the end, just took it all off of that second standard deviation. So a nice turnaround, and just based very simply on those buyers, on these buyers here getting trapped on the 5. So it started here with those sellers on volume trapping these buyers, and that was the beginning of building in the shorts, and then just took it all off as you hit the second standard deviation. Now, in terms of looking at this for the rest of the day, I'm just going to make sure that all my market orders are closed. Everything's closed. Looking at it, on the 15th, these buyers get trapped. Look for a move to the standard deviation to keep selling. On the 5-minute, you've seen these buyers got trapped here by these sellers. So it's not unreasonable to see if buyers get trapped up against this level. Or if we go above this level and then back down, that would be suitable for shorting.